Alright, here's an awesome game idea called Fetch Frisbee, and this is created by David Bolander. We're going to use it for grades 5 to 8, and you do need a special piece of equipment, something called a monster flying disc, or if maybe you have something similar. It looks like this, about 2 feet, like a giant frisbee out of foam or soft material. You can get them at Flag House. I'll put a link below, or other sports equipment suppliers. I am also not sponsored or endorsed by Flag House, just so you guys know. All right, so we'll look at this great game here. Split the teams, one on one half, one on the other, and 7 or 8 players max. You don't want any more than that. If you do have larger groups, then you can play 2 games if you have 2 of these frisbees on half court, or you can have a special rotation, which we'll actually look at the end of this video. And then you're going to throw in your extra special monster foam frisbee thing. They can do amazing things, as you can see here. And one team has to start off with it, so you'll decide that, maybe rock, paper, scissors. And there's a throw line, so this line you have to establish before the game starts. And players cannot throw from in front of that line, and teams are going to be taking turns throwing it back and forth, trying to score points. The goal of the game is to be the first team to score 50 points, or you can adjust that score to whatever you want for your group. And the scoring works like this: there's 5 points for individual catch, and 3 points for every team catch. And we'll take a look here. So if the red team's starting, they're going to make that throw, and if somebody catches it, that's 5 points for their team, and then they'll do a throw back. And if it's a team catch, then it's 3 points, if you remember our scoring. So if more than one player catches it at the same time or work together to catch it, they only get 3 points. And then they'll decide somebody else throws. So it's 5-3. Red's turn to throw again. They launch it, and any individual catch, again, 5 points, so they're at 10. And they've thrown it, and another team catch for red. So red is at 6, so it's 10-6. And more rules here. So what happens is if nobody touches the disc, so if it's thrown, there will be no points awarded. So we'll take a look. Red team has thrown it, and if nobody's touched it and it hit the floor, nothing happens. That's the end of that one. And so just another example of another rule. It's -1 point every time there's a failed catch. So if the team tries to catch it but they drop it. So as an example, red has thrown it, green tried to catch it but they drop it. So that would be -1 for the green team. Another rule here: -1 points are awarded when the throw doesn't cross the center, and then they'll have to do a rethrow. So red was up to throw, he threw it, and it didn't go across the center, so -1 for red, and they'll have to rethrow it. And another -1 point awarded if the throw is not high enough as it crosses center, so they'll have to rethrow again. So the player has thrown it, say she throws it, and it's not above, we'll say about 2 feet. So it's got to be 2 feet roughly, and as the teacher you can determine if it's a catchable or a good enough throw higher than 2 feet as it crosses center. So that would be -1 point for the red team again. And so that's kind of how that works. As for our special rotation, if you have more players, you can have one team off on the side, and after every throw they'll switch. So red team, say they threw it and green team has caught it, and they can keep their own scores in their head. But right after that, the red team jumps out and the orange team comes in, and then the green team would throw it to orange. Whatever happens, but after that throw, then the green and the red would then switch, and so on and so forth. So that gets everyone moving if you have large numbers. And that's really basically it for this game idea. Thanks again, David Bolander. Awesome idea, very unique. I really like this idea. If you've enjoyed this game, please subscribe for more games and visit PhysEdGames.com.